Hey, welcome back to the Garage Loft Show. It's January the 3rd, 2023. There's a siren going off. Did you hear that? Hold on. Let's go outside and see what's going on. I can't get out. Hear that siren? Well, if this means nuclear war, then we better get our comic books organized. So let me go back in and see about doing that. Let me go upstairs and kiss my wife goodbye, since it looks like we're soon to be destroyed. Here comes Drew with her food. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the siren seems to have stopped, and secretly I'm a little disappointed. I was kind of looking forward to the nuclear devastation, honestly. It would give a little excitement to the new year. So, ladies and gentlemen, how's your 2023 been treating you? It must be one of those test sirens that they have go off every so often. Remember, back in the old country, before we left Texas, they had the siren go off the first Wednesday, or maybe the second Wednesday of every month. The siren would go off. They would test it. But this is a Tuesday, so I don't know what's going on. Let's look at this comic. The Atlantis Chronicles. Peter David and Esteban Maroto. This is about the mythology of Atlantis. As I recall, this is the same Atlantis that you read about in the Aquaman comic. It's just, this is the prehistory of it all. This was a miniseries, 7 issues. Going through getting things properly encased in plastic. Number 3, this was something that was only sold through direct distribution into comic stores, which allowed them to have a little bit more racy material. You can tell because there's no UPC code. Yes, this is more recent comic from the, I don't know, 80s or something like that. There's issue 4. Oh wow, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. How exciting. Well, it was pretty cool for that siren to start right as the episode started. That was kind of a cool little thing. There was they had to cancel Monday Night Football last night. I wasn't watching it, but I heard that happened because one of the players, they had to like do CPR on him for about 10 minutes or something like that. Obviously climate change affected him. That's very rare for an athlete to fall over. It never happens. Let's see. We don't want to talk about such things. Oh, Swamp Thing, the series. That was a different series. There was a new series that started, about a couple years ago, and we watched the first episode or two and liked it, but they announced they canceled it, I think, right before the first episode aired. And then, I don't know, for some reason we just didn't keep watching it. I need to go back and watch that, I guess. Now, that cover's a little bit racy, but it was only sold in comic stores, and kids don't, for the most part, go into comic stores. They're meant for sweaty older men. Atlantis Chronicles. Arax, Son of Thunder. Yeah. Kids going into comic stores are a rarity. Unless they're... Nowadays, they might go in for Pokemon cards. That Pokemon stuff has carried over for several generations among stupid people. Let's see. Atom. The Atom. Astonishing Tales. That's AS. So Atlantis would be AT. And there's this stupid Atlantis Attacks comic that for some reason I've got here that really should be thrown in a fireplace, except I don't have a fireplace. Atlantis Attacks, Atlantis Chronicles. The Atom. Alright, well. Okay, so that moves us into the Avengers, ladies and gentlemen. This is an obscure comic not many people have heard of. This was actually kind of cool. Bruce Timm of Batman the Animated Series made a fake Silver Age Avengers comic, and it's Avengers 1.5, so it's supposed to take place between issues 1 and 2. So I'll put that first. Man, I should give this a backing board. Yeah. This will give us a chance to look at it too. Yeah, it's inside. It's very realistic looking. The artwork inside is done by Bruce Timm, and they've got it's not a fake ad. They actually used the old Charles Atlas ad. Oh, but they have sea baboons in the back. This is really an amazingly clever little thing, you know. Oh, but they run it. It's really cool looking 60s art, all right? But then all of a sudden it turns into this awful 90s looking art. Oh man, they ruin the whole thing. What? Oh wait, no. I see what they're doing. Or no, or what are they doing? Why is the Spider-Man thing in here? It's like a little supplement. I don't know what this thing is in the middle. It's like these pages should just be ripped out. Because then it goes back into the fake 60s looking art. And look at this great, that must be Steve Rude art for the Children of the X-Men. But yeah, it's back. Bruce Timm, wow. And then the fake letters page. And yeah, everything's fine except in the center they put some shitty modern art to, I guess, pacify modern idiots. I don't know what they're up to. Okay, well, the Bronze Age, as far as the Avengers goes, starts with Avengers 93. My earlier Avengers comics are with the Silver Age books. The Silver Age, to me, ended when the corner box goes away and the cigar band goes across the top that says Marvel Comics Group, and they were 20 cents. Well, actually, there was a brief experiment for a month where they tried making it 25 cents with a thicker comic, but they quickly wised up, quicker than DC did, and went to 20 cents. And then DC was still at 25 cents for a little while. When DC finally wised up and went to 20 cents, that's when I consider the Bronze Age starting for DC. So this is Avengers 94. Here is Avengers 95. Avengers 96. Got a Neil Adams cover. Avengers 97 is a little bit toasty. Avengers 98. Avengers 99. And a Barry Smith cover. 100. Another copy of 100. This is a Harlan Ellison story, 101. And another copy of the highly collectible issue 101. All right. Yes, indeed. Here's 102. This has a non-color breaking, possibly a subscription crease. They used to, if you subscribed, they would fold the comic over and put it in an envelope, mail it to you in the old days. This is 102. Here's another copy of 102 without the crease. Here's 103 with the crease, ain't there? 103 without the crease variant. .104 with a crease. .104 without a crease. It's good to collect both the crease and the non-crease variant. You know I'm bullshitting you, don't you? That's something you do. Ooh. 105. I was oohing because there's some chipping here and over there. 106. 107. Now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has killed the Vision. They've turned Scarlet Witch into a psychotic villainess. They've killed Iron Man. They've killed Black Panther. They basically got rid of Captain America, sending him back to the 1940s. So he's basically dead. And Hawkeye, I guess that's Hawkeye there. The actor that plays Hawkeye was just injured horribly the other day. And so hopefully he'll be back. He's like in critical condition or something. He was like some kind of, he was like cleaning, some injury with a snowplow or something. It like caused blunt trauma to the chest or something. It's 109. So I don't know. But Hawkeye was already neutered in a TV show that I didn't see, but I heard that he was shown to be, that his talent was nothing compared to a 15-year-old teenage girl. So basically, he's been neutered. The actor has been injured horribly. Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther dead, and she's now really, it'd be real hard to bring her back as a hero after what they did in the movie. Oh well. So they've basically destroyed everything. Oh, and what about Thor? Well, they destroyed him in the last Thor movie. Now we have a girl Thor, and he's just a completely ineffectual, simpleton moron. So their next step is to destroy the X-Men, which I'm sure they will do. They probably, from what I understand, aren't even going to call them the X-Men. They're going to call them the mutants because they're not all men, you know, because they're morons. They're complete and total morons. Oh, they killed the Black Widow too. I forgot about that. And Daredevil was in a really pretty decent Netflix TV series, but now they're making him just some, they're messing him up too. So yeah, having said that, now they're getting rid of all of these because they want to replace them with children and more diverse cast. Yes, they're all too. Oh well, this is 112. 20-cent era was a wonderful time. Wow. Pretty cool. Wait a second. Yeah. Still in the 20-cent era. 113. $114. There's Mantis. She was the star of the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which I liked. Here's another copy of 114. 115. Look at all these great characters that Marvel has disposed of. Really, what they need to do is completely reboot everything, like James Gunn is doing with DC. They need to just start over and actually have the characters wear the actual costumes direct from the comic. This is 116. 116. I love the colors on that. 117. Oh, and they run the Submariner too. And I believe in this new Black Panther movie, they even ripped the wings off of his feet just to further emasculate him. But that's how they roll at Disney. They like to destroy anything old so they can start over. Well, I, for one, we're not going to take it anymore. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it anymore. Here's another copy of 117. These old comic books never change. Oh, they effed up the Hulk too, with that liberal actor that plays him. You know, they made him completely ineffectual compared to She-Hulk, which is another character they messed up. 118. 119. There's the Collector that you saw in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, this one has a star stamped on it. So it's very likely that inside this is a Mark Jewelers variant. It's got a little bit of a crease there. 120. The star is put on stamped on a comic when it's purchased at the PX, a military base, and for a while in the 70s, I don't know if they did it into the 80s, they would have a special supplement just in the comics sold to the soldiers that would have, rings and jewelry you could buy for your girlfriends and wives. 122. Another copy of 122. All the characters that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has messed up. 123. I was thinking, why is this guy in his underwear, man? Put on some clothes, for crying out loud. Well, okay. Let's get some of these books back in. So how's your Tuesday morning? Now, several years ago, right before the pandemic started, a good friend of mine, gave me his entire Avengers collection, which I think started with issue 16 up through the mid-1970s or mid-70s, I think. So that's why I have duplicates of some of these issues, is because some of them already existed in my collection, and then he gave me like a big run of them. And so if there's duplicates, one of them was in my collection pre-existing. So he was, he's, let's see, he's about 7 years older than me, so he was, I was class of 1983, high school class of 83, he was class of 76, so he was buying comics actually in the 60s, and I wasn't even really aware in the 60s. I was, the frick, I was, 5 when the 60s ended, and just starting to discover comics. So anyway, and then he was ordering from Robert Bell, one of the ads that you see in comics that sold back issues. He would get comics sent to him. He told me when Neil Armstrong first set foot on the moon that he wasn't even paying attention because he had just gotten a package from Robert Bell with back issues. But he had a complete set of X-Men from the first issue up to through the new X-Men, and he sold that through Heritage, and he didn't want to go through that experience again, and he just said, I'd rather give these Avengers comics to you because you'll take care of them, and Heritage, I don't know. This is 125, and he says my daughters have no interest in them, and he did keep his Spider-Man comics. He has from an early issue. I don't know that he had Spider-Man #1. He might have. I don't think so. He had early, like Spider-Man 8 on up and something like that, and he kept all his Kirby Fourth World, that's New Gods kind of stuff, and I think he kept his maybe his Captain Marvel comics. Was it Captain Marvel? Yeah, probably Captain Marvel. Okay, now this is the first issue of Avengers I ever bought. I bought it at the PX at Sam Houston military base in San Antonio. Anyway, this is the first one I bought. So this is my childhood copy. So, yeah, and then this must be the one he gave me, right? Because I think I put my childhood copy in front, and then I had another copy, so I have 3 copies of this, my very first Avengers comic. So that's 128, and then 129, the next issue, came from my friend's collection. And so Kang, who's in this next Ant-Man movie, does look quite a bit like he does in the comic, from what I've seen in the trailer. And I've liked the Ant-Man movies up till now. Haven't done anything to really offend me. I'm sure the next one will, because they have, it seems like they have a rule, they have to offend the older fans now. Here's, okay, that was 130, 131. So this is probably my longest run of any comic now, courtesy of my friend. 132. And he's always been a mentor to me over the years, musically and in every element of pop culture. He's a trailblazer that has been before me, He's the Daniel Boone to my Davy Crockett, or not that I'm that great a hero or anything, but he was there before me, blazing a trail into the West, with comic books, with music, with garage rock. I would learn about bands from him, and yeah, he's in movies. Yeah, he's an amazing guy. 133. 134, Origin of the Vision. This is where we learn that the Vision is actually the Golden Age Human Torch. Yeah, see a lot of the, oh well, just a shame that the Marvel movies didn't stay good. But as what does the idiot say in The Outsiders? Nothing stays golden, pony boy. 136, don't you hate when people quote that book in that movie? You know, that book was written by like a 15-year-old girl in the mid-60s. It's not some nostalgic book written about the hoodlums back in the 60s. She was writing it when that shit was actually happening. These old-fashioned 50s wannabe hoodlums that are still, you know, still hanging out in the mid-60s when that's pretty much out of style in Oklahoma or anywhere. It's like kind of like it's people that are still hippies getting stoned, and it's the 1980s, you know. It's like, yeah, hey man, go back to the 60s. Anyway, The Outsiders, that's what that is. And anyway, she wrote the book and got it published, and S.E. Hinton was the name on it, because little boys will not check out books from the library or buy books and read books that are written by women, so the women used to have to hide their identity as women. So she was S.E. Hinton, just like J.K. Rowling hid that she was a woman when she put out the Harry Potter books, and several other authors have done that. Anyway, now everyone knows J.K. Rowling was a woman, and everyone knows S.E. Hinton was a girl, but they used to do that. How about that? 139. 140. 140. 140. 141, The Avengers versus Squadron Sinister. That might be the end of this box. Is it? Yes, it looks like it. So, how are you doing today on this wonderful foggy Tuesday? Oh, I'm recording this shit downstairs. I need to go downstairs real quick and click the button on the remote, because YouTube stops streaming after about an hour, and I'm recording like several hours of this guy. This guy has an interesting. He's an interesting guy to listen to. His name is David Vose. V-O-S-E. Okay, is this? All right, so come along with me. I'll take this box back into the other room. No, actually, what should I do? Yeah, let's go downstairs first. Yes, it's a foggy day here in Philadelphia. But the fog doesn't keep all the fentanyl addicts off the street. All the scum living in tents.
An hour on just one little piece of it, but I want to give you an overview of all of this, and we'll talk about it in upcoming videos more in depth. But
Okay.
I want to give you this picture of how amazing all of this is. So
Where's the remote?
True. So it's very important.
I haven't eaten breakfast yet, man. It is pushing 10 o'clock.
So now,
put down in your comments below what you think I should eat for breakfast, and I will I will take a poll,
And that is the
and
priesthood.
whatever you guys think I should eat, I'll go get.
Yeah, this stuff, they had these holy scriptures that most Christians never even
Where
heard
is
of.
the remote?
Because this woman became a widow and her child died. So the true priesthood's gone.
Where's...
So when Jesus comes, he raised up the widow from
Everything's
Egypt.
so messy, man.
Elisha came, he raised
Where would I have
raised
set
up
the remote
the
down?
widow Susan.
Well, maybe I put my coat on top of the remote. I had to put my coat on. Today's trash day, and it's a holiday here in Philadelphia, trash day. Oh, here it is. On trash day, we honor the election of Joe Biden, the 100% above board election. Most popular president ever.
The statue of gold, and then it goes to the tree that's banded for 7 times. And then it talks about how the kingdom of the Lord would become banded and wouldn't sprout until the time in the end. And in the meantime, he's beast would rule. And he's 7 times. So now we're
Okay. Now let's move that long box and get another long box. Yeah, beautiful day here in Los Angeles. You know, we don't have foggy days that often here in LA. But this is proof that it is not always sunny here in California. Put you down on top of the long box. Oh, shut up, water. I always speak in tongues when I pick up long boxes. Oh, what a water. Basanda posuta. Ulakata wasatanta masuto. Marasata folosoto tekata. All right. Mukola City, my time, Maloko. What? Wow. What is that, Poopa? All right. Well, when we left off, we were looking at the famous comic book, The Avengers. Which even normal people have heard of that comic book. They've never read it. Come on. There we go. Yes, Liz. Oh, crap. Here's 142. Here's 142. Here's 142. 143. At last, the final battle against the power of Kang. Here's 144. I think this is a key issue. It's the first appearance of Hellcat. So we need a board inside this My Light. No, that won't fit. Filthy animals. There were some boards over here, weren't there? Swine. Are you all Golden Age boards? Oh, here comes Pete the cat. Hello, Pete the cat. Uh-oh. Drew the dog doesn't like Pete the cat being here. It's like a real-life Tom and Jerry cartoon around here. Uh-oh. Drew senses there's a cat here, but she's going the opposite direction. Drew needs to chill out, man, with her toxic femininity. You may wonder why I often call Drew a he. My wife says, stop misgendering the dog. She's a she. Well, I call the cats are both boys, and I call them she, and I call the dog a he. And I don't know, something about dogs seems like they're boys, and something about cats seems like, look, they're sort of getting along. I don't know. I don't think Drew's too happy about this situation. Uh-oh, a hiss. Drew, stop. You can't do that. Don't chew that Howard Stern book. Uh-oh. Drew, you're going to get yourself clawed. Oh, fuck this. Oh, I'm going to chase her. Oh, I tricked her. I tricked her into going away, man. What a son of a bitch. You know, if you call a dog a son of a bitch, it's not really an insult, is it? Because it's actually accurate. Oh, well. It's the first appearance of the incredible Hellcat, ladies and gentlemen. A key issue, if there ever was one. Ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we're up to Avengers 143. Wait, didn't we already look at... What? Are these out of order? They would appear to be. Okay, Avengers 142. Oh, no. What? 143. Okay, 143, 144. What? 144. Maybe this is when my friend's collection ended. Yeah, because I suddenly seem to have a gap. Yeah, I go to 144, but I don't see a 145 and 146. So I need to be on the prowl for those two comics. Here's 147. Here's 148. They have Jack Kirby back doing covers. There's something missing. Either he doesn't quite care as much, or something's happened to, he's not quite the Kirby that he used to be. Something about it is not a little off. 149. Okay. So from this point on, these are all, you know, these are all comics that I bought. This one I bought off the newsstand. Yeah, I remember buying these off the newsstand. That's a Kirby and Adkins cover. I think at this point it really does, when Kirby is getting older, it really matters who the inker is. 152, Nightmare in New Orleans. This one is not in good shape, but it could certainly use a better bag and board, I believe. Okay, 152. Oh, and luckily I have another one. I like how Kirby draws these skulls. Speaking of skulls, I've got to get that painting sent out to John Goris today. Hopefully when I go to the post office here in a little bit, they will actually be open. Okay, so what was that? That was 152. Here's 153. Let's get a backing board in there. So, okay, then I'm missing 154, 155, and 156, and then I have 157 with an obvious Kirby cover. That one also needs a backing board. I'll steal backing board here. Well, tomorrow I'm back to work for 2 straight months. Tomorrow is the 4-Color Fossils show at 7 o'clock Central. There won't be as many episodes starting tomorrow. They'll have to happen on weekends, or because I will be more busy. 157, okay. $158, Wonder Man versus Vision. Okay. 161, attacked by the Ant-Men. There's another copy of that same issue. Let's put some of these back in. $162. Doesn't look like I have 163. 164. Looks like I'm missing 165, 166. Here's 167. $168. I don't see a 169. 170. Then I go up to 176. There's no 177. Here's 178. Another 178. Here's 179. Here's one that is not bagged or boarded at all, number 180. And would you look at that? It's got an amazing Mark Jewelers insert. Will it fit in one of these bags? Let's see. That's just a little tight. That's one of those modern bags. I don't want to use anything less than Silver Age anymore. Oh, and there, see, if you look right there, right between the 3 and the 5. If you see that purple splotch, that's the stamp kind of hidden there. The stamp that the cashier would put on the comic when you bought it at the PX. 180. $181. I'm just looking at the characters. Oh, they killed off Quicksilver too. I forgot about that. Yep. They introduced Hercules at the end of that last Thor movie. He looks like an idiot. And Ms. Marvel was, you know, the Captain Marvel movie they made. That actress was terrible. Yeah, they've completely destroyed that whole cinematic universe. 183. So I'm missing 184. Here's 185. Oh yeah, this bag feels a little crumply. These bags are really pieces of shit, aren't they? These are all ones I bought off the newsstand. See, it's a newsstand. $186. Okay, we're only up to 1979, it looks like. The movie ads always help you spot immediately, you know, what time period you're in. That is, if you live through that time period, you know what movies were out when. Oh, 187 doesn't even have a bag or board. Oh, look, a Mark Jewelers variant. It's an embarrassment of riches. Look at all these wonderful things that you can buy for your girlfriend. For $25, no, $25 twice monthly for 18 payments. That's how they fool you. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, Scarlet Witch goes bad here, but I don't think she kills. I don't remember. It's been a few years since I read this, like she did in that movie. I mean, they pretty much ruined that character. How can anyone ever accept her as a hero after that movie? Yep, see this little stamp? That's your tip-off that you've struck pay dirt. You've struck gold with a Mark Jewelers variant. Some people don't even care about the Mark Jewelers variant. Some people, it's just so exciting. 187, another copy. Okay, now we have an issue without a bag and board. Why, look at that. My goodness gracious. It's a Mark Jewelers variant. It is my lucky day. That's too tight. Ugh. That's what she said. Okay. Well, we don't want to put these in bags that are too tight. Old bags. 189. No offense to all you old bags out there. Here's 190. Here's 191. And then it looks like I wasn't buying for a while, and then I came back for issue 200. And I have another issue 200. That darn light. 201. Jarvis takes over. 204 has the stamp, so I imagine it has the Art Jewelers insert. There's another 204. 205 without any protection. So let's get a comic condom for this comic. Yeah, that should fit. That's too tight, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's more like it. $205. 208. 209. 209. And then 209 without a bag and board. That's not good. So how are you guys doing? You doing well? All you wonderful members of the comic book community, you're all doing swell, I'm sure. 209. 210. The Wrath of the Weatherman. 211. Another 211. 212. Will these Avengers comics never end? 213. 215. 216. 223. It's not the best condition, but this one is a key issue. Well, they recreated this in that Captain America Civil War movie, and it is a cool cover, and that was a great movie. That was the one where they first introduced Spider-Man. It's kind of sad when you think about how those movies were actually good at one time. I mean, not just good, but pretty great. They were a lot of fun. I was always looking forward to them. Yeah, this is pretty sought after issue. 223. And then we go to 232. I think they just introduced this character at the end of that wonderful movie, The Eternals. 235. 237. 252. 257. We're still in the we're in the 65-cent era. 259. Oh, this one was a gift from Micah. It's got his printout on the back from the Micah Colston collection. So that's cool. 259. That's Graphic Man. That's his secret identity, is Micah. 260. 261. $262. I'll go back at some point and put boards in these. Don't worry about it, man. $276. $281. She-Hulk. She-Hulk used to be a cool character. Well, she still is. It's just the movie version. But unfortunately, the movie and TV show versions are what the general public is going to always think of with these characters. The general public is never going to know these versions. $294. So that's unfortunate. Whenever anyone thinks of the She-Hulk, they'll think of that shitty TV show. $296. And that'll never change, you know. So. $300. I think this is an issue that matters to people. I have 2 copies of it. Hopefully it's worth $1 billion. Here's 310. Here's 315. And here's another one of 315. And then a couple with no bags and boards. 316. I think that this is a somewhat minor key. I think it's around in the $30 range, but I could be wrong. I don't remember why, but it's... here's 318. TSR made wonderful role-playing games. Yes. I used to watch Doctor Who and then play Dungeons and Dragons. No, never mind. No, there's nothing wrong with that. There's not that there's anything wrong with Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. 316, 318. Oh, this thing came right out of the $2 bin. Let me change that bag out. That's disgusting. Ugh. Yeah, they ruined they ruined him too in the Black Widow movie. The Red Guardian. They're just, you know, he's one of these member of the patriarchy, so we got to make him fat and stupid. You know, those patriarchy guys, man, we don't want them around, man. Issue 326. How about that? Oh, an ad for Splatterhouse, which is a gory video game. Things are starting to get bad. Ads for TSR, ads for video games. The magic is starting to end. 326. Uh, 328 is something, I think, Rage. The very famous character Rage. I think that people love that, maybe. Here's, then I don't have anything till 348. It looks like it's going to be spotty from here on. And then I'm back for 379. In fact, it looks like I might have bought that twice. And that looks to be the last issue I bought of the Avengers, because now I have the Mighty Avengers special. I always put the specials and the annuals at the end. There's another copy. Some people get real slick, and they figure out when the annual came out between what issues, and they put the annuals in sequentially with the run of the comic. But that requires some research. Here's Avengers Annual number 6. Avengers Annual number 7. This one I think's got some value because it has a purple cover. Also, and it has Warlock, Captain Marvel battling Thanos, Lord of Evil. Yeah, I think people like that issue. Avengers Annual 8. Number 9 with floating heads. Oh, and then the giant size Avengers books from like 1975. I've got number 1. It's got some Golden Age reprints in it. And then I've got another copy of number 1. And then looks like I don't have 2 or 3, but I have 4. I'd like to have 2 and 3. Then the official Marvel Index to the Avengers. There's number 1. There's another copy of number 1. Here's number 2. And then I have another copy of 2 and another copy of 2. Here's 3. And another copy of 3. And then what is this? Oh, it's another run of the Avengers that I picked up. It's the first issue of another run. Oh, here's some that don't have. Here's number 10 of this. It's not badly drawn. It's not as obnoxious as modern comics. There's a lot of detail in this art, man. This it's George Perez, isn't it? Oh, it was a centerfold. No, it's just an ad for Fox Kids or something, or ABC Saturday Morning. Yeah, man. This artwork is incredibly detailed. It's insane. So, I think we're in the 90s here. I'm trying to figure this out. Since I can't read tiny print, I can't read the date on it. I'm thinking we're in the 90s here. All right. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, I was going to put that in a bag, wasn't I? Will you fit? No. This is kind of a thicker comic. Whew. Okay. And then, oh my gosh, it's another Avengers number 1. They started it over again. And then we're at Avengers 32 and we're in a modern era now. It doesn't look really bad yet, though. I don't know at what point everything just went and collapsed with modern comics. But this one looks okay. Okay, so that's 32. What is this? Avengers 48. I just really violently object to starting numbering over. This should all be in the original numbering of the Avengers. Starting over again makes it incredibly confusing to older collectors, to collectors trying to start now. how do you explain? Well, there's an Avengers 31 here. There was also an Avengers 31 back in 1964, and Avengers, and you just, it's incredibly frustrating. Here's an Avengers 77 from, nice cover. This one, I remember buying this at Lone Star Comics, and just whoever this artist is, I really like this artist. It's Insanity. I assume it's Stocco. I need to look him up. I noticed him on a previous episode when I showed these, and I looked him up, but now I've forgotten. This is a free comic, Avengers, Invaders. And here is foreign Los Invincibles del siglo XX, como un rayo mortal del cielo. Circus. It's foreign. That's a foreign Avengers comic. This one I own because of the Alex Ross cover. I have no idea what it is. This one I own because of the side boobs. I'll just be honest with you. Here's a tribute to that other cover I just showed you. I guess I could throw this in a bag. Rocket Raccoon. And oh, that's Sergio Aragonis doing that cover. Yeah, look at that. See his signature there? That's neat. So that's why I own that. It's Avengers World. Where am I at? Are we out of these yet? Then there's the new Avengers. Oh, Secret Invasion. The new Avengers. And then I've got number 4 of Mephisto versus the Avengers. Oh. This probably should be on a bookshelf instead of a bag. I could put something else in this bag, because this is really a book collecting bunch of, it's Ed Brubaker. I've learned from Eric Breen that anything written by Ed Brubaker is choice. So this is Secret Avengers Mission to Mars. So I'll put that in the comic book room on a bookshelf. Here's some free comic book day Avengers comic. I think that's from like last year or the year before. This is an Avengers book. It's smaller than a regular comic. It was only available on army bases to people in the military. This is, I have no idea what this is. It's Avengers number 11. Legacy, if they had kept the original numbering, it would have been issue 701. It's a variant edition, so there's just no telling what it even is. This is from the dollar bin. Okay. Oh, I bought this because I thought this cover really is pretty damn amazing, I have to say. That's great. Now, if the interior of the comic was like that, then I'd be dancing on the roof right now. Avengers, Invaders, nice Alex Ross cover. It's like the 1970s Submariner against the 1940s Submariner. What do we have here? It's another TNA Spider-Woman cover. Oh, okay. Now, West Coast Avengers number 2. I guess I should put these in bags, shouldn't I? I always loved I love Tigra from her first appearance in Giant Sized Chillers. I've always liked that character. And except as a kid, I thought it was pronounced. I didn't realize it was pronounced Tigra. I think I pronounced it Tigra or something. I don't know. How am I supposed to know? I guess it's obvious she's a tiger, so it should be pronounced Tigra. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, another more. There's another number 3. So how are you guys doing this wonderful Tuesday morning? It's just a great morning. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that reminds me, I need to go downstairs and make sure my recording's still going. Because David Vos reminds me of Mr. Rogers a little bit. West Coast Avengers number 20. Well, I skipped a few issues, didn't I? I still hear him talking. Unless that's the TV upstairs that my wife's watching. West Coast Avengers, man. What a great thing. Let's look at a few more. 26. Oh, here's 43. I am very spotty in my collection of West Coast Avengers. And then I have 46. My gosh, what a terrible cover that is. I mean, it's not very inspired, is it? Here's 47. Here's 50. Here's 49, out of order. All right. Let's make sure I'm still recording David Vos downstairs. Oh.
To decide to make a pipe and place 3 of them at the Kingdom Hall inside the building, where there might be their families and friends in there. You know, not everybody there they might not be angry at everybody in there.
All right, so I press the button just so YouTube knows I'm still here watching.
They've been making them in their apartment. It does not sound like extra hope witnesses. And they went and they were going to use them against the company, the union representative or something like that. He was mad at the company that fired him, which I'm sure had something to do with their...
Notice I turn lights off. All right, so it looks like we're finally kind of finished with the Avengers. What comes next in the alphabet? I guess we're probably close to getting into the Batman comics, aren't we? Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Let's put these back in. Uh-oh. Okay. West Coast Avengers. Alright. I guess this is an Avengers annual. Why do the Avengers battle the Defenders? Dark Avengers I bought, honestly, just for the cover illustration. I don't know much about Dark Avengers. I don't know. I mean, is that doesn't, I thought that I had this book in backwards. I thought that was an ad on the back cover, but that's actually a comic book cover. So, horrible. Okay, whatever. What in the name of gosh? From the Dollar Bin, West Coast Avengers. I don't know why I bought that. What is wrong with me? Yeah, to me, this is what all modern comics look like. Is that, you know, hardly any words. You know, they're just like that. That's what comics look like now. Okay, so what is this? Oh, I guess this is Savage Avengers, which I thought I would try. But they have all these alternate. This is a variant cover. This is a variant cover of number 2. This is apparently another cover that number 2 had. Wait, didn't I just show you this one? It looks like these were just in dollar bins, you know. Here's number 3. They had Conan the Barbarian and all these characters together. You know, all these characters, the Punisher, Conan together, Conan with a machine gun, you know, that's just like the dream of every 1980s heavy metal kid is this comic, Savage Avengers, you know. I've yet to read them. I don't know if they're any good, but I wanted to try them out. So I think Marvel became very embarrassed that they owned the Punisher, and they've taken steps to neuter him. As far as I got several of these. The symbol on his chest, they've changed it because too many military groups and police, you know, departments started to use that Punisher symbol, and they were embarrassed by it, you know, because all this, you know, defund the police kind of liberal bullshit. They were embarrassed that they had something that right-wingers liked. So they changed it to some kind of Japanese demon symbol that no one would use. I don't know. Is this a shitty comic or is it any good? You have to tell me down in the comments down below. I've yet to read any, but I picked up some. And I'm kind of embarrassed by it, honestly. I don't know what this is. It's another Avengers. It's here's another Dark Avengers. It says first issue. I guess that goes there. This is so depressing. Solo Avengers. Hawkeye and the Scarlet Witch. Hawkeye wearing a ridiculously ugly costume. I think that's maybe late 80s. That doesn't look 90s. Let me get these books back in the box. Yeah, this is more recent stuff that is very embarrassing to own. Wait. Where was the West Coast Avengers shit? New Avengers. Oh. Dark Avengers. What? What is this shit? Oh, I see. Getting confused by all these different Avengers comics that it makes no sense, man. Okay. Yes, we're about to get into Batman. Just as we're about to run out of time. Here's Balder the Brave. It's Barbie, and there are people that collect these Barbie comics. So I found them like in a dollar bin. I've said this before when I showed this comic. I don't know why I own it. And Graphic Man said he was hoping I would just burn it right there on camera. But I own a couple of these shitty modern Batgirl comics. I don't know how they wormed their way into my collection. Batgirl, the New 52. This is kind of cool. Batman Through the Ages. That's actually neat. All right, now we're getting into good stuff, which would probably be better to be at the beginning of an episode instead of at the very end, but that's all right. We'll keep. Not gonna cheat you guys that have kept going. So we have Batman 244. Right at the dawn of the Bronze Age. 244. Then we have Batman 250. See, this is when horror comics were ruling the spinner rack, and so you've got all these covers that might as well be on the cover of Ghosts or House of Mystery. That's 252. 253 is The Shadow teaming up with Batman. You know, The Shadow was one of the inspirations for Batman. 253. Here's 256. One of those 100-page spectaculars. And here's another one of 256. Okay, let me put these down here. Now we're starting to get more interesting, aren't we? All those 90s Avengers comics were... Okay, so we've got Batman 257. $259. There's the Shadow again. Uh-oh. Wait, I haven't been looking for something. Oh, shit. I forgot the real reason I'm doing this is I was trying to put these books in order. There's some books I need to insert in. Oh, and I forgot the, damn, the Solo Avengers book. Shit, motherfucker. Okay, that goes there. Okay. Starting to feel like I'm working in a comic book store here. This is starting to get... Okay. Okay, so this is one of those 90s raised embossed covers. This is Avengers West Coast number 100. So that was one book I was wanting. Where are the West Coast? And this is Avengers 28, which is a salute to Conan cover. I don't really even give a shit. I'm just going to throw this in randomly because I don't understand the numbering on all these This is Avengers 319 from a $2 bin. I'll go ahead and put it in a better bag. Because all those grubby hands that have gone through a $2 bin, you know. There's no telling where they've been, man. You know, some people are really filthy and disgusting. You ever been in a public restroom where it used to be at my previous workplace back in Texas. You go in the restroom and there was a turd that just wound around and around like a python. It must have taken 30 seconds for this giant turd to emerge and wind around the bowl. And then no toilet paper, no flushing. The person just pulled their pants up and went on to class. And that, of course, that person probably would never be in a comic store because these are things you have to read. And that's obviously a barbarian. But yeah, some people just take a shit. They don't flush the toilet. They just pull their pants up and go. And meanwhile, some girl's saying, "He's so dreamy. I wish he'd take me out on a date." This guy that hasn't wiped his ass since, since he was 12. This is when someone else did it for him, probably. This is a real menace to our society, ladies and gentlemen. Avengers 319. It's people that don't wipe their ass are an existential threat to our democracy, to our great republic. 319. Well, speaking of that, by noon today, we're supposed to know who the new Speaker of the House is going to be. Will it be Kevin McCarthy? He did a great job in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but actually, it's not that same Kevin McCarthy. I wish it was. He could just start screaming and warning us that the Democrats are all space aliens. Okay, here's another Barbie I need to get in there. And another copy of this, probably the fourth copy I have that I've accidentally bought of the Savage Avengers comic book. I hope that issue number 2 variant edition is very valuable because I can make tons of money and buy. It's Taco Tuesday, motherfuckers. Do you realize what that means? Beef taco. I'm gonna talk to my wife that we need to go to the fucking El Vaquero Mexican restaurant. I'm probably gonna eat about 9, 10, maybe 12 of those motherfucking burritos, man. Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, man. I'm so happy it's Taco Tuesday. All right, back to Batman. Oh, and there was a Batman over here. I need to get sleeved in here. Several Batmans. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. This back coverless Batman comic, which is, I need a bigger bag for that. And this is a wretched condition Batman comic I rescued from somewhere. But that needs to be put. But luckily I have this same Batman one here with the back cover. Evel Knievel has reprints of, 1960s stuff, and it's great stuff. Okay, so what am I doing here? Okay, so we looked at Batman 257, 259, 260. Let's put this other 260 in with it. And then we have 261. Now that's my kind of back cover ad. It's not Dungeons and Dragons, TSR. It's not a video game. It's Corgi tanks, man. There's a 1950s Batman. Oh, these were great. I got to get bigger bags and boards for these big ones, man. 261. Oh, yes. Oh, this is kind of a monumental thing. This is the first. No, it isn't. I was going to say it's the first Batman comic I ever bought, but it's the first one I bought as Because I remember that I bought that Batman or Detective that was the first appearance of Two-Face in modern times, as I recall. As probably a 5-year-old, I had that book, but it didn't survive. I bought it again later. You know the one I'm talking about, the Neil Adams cover. But this is the first one I bought that survived. This is Batman 263. I think I was in 3rd grade when I bought this. At that time, I had the Corgi Batmobile and Batboat. They were gifts to me from Santa when I was real little. And I had seen the Batman movie, the 61 that came out in the summer of '66, that had shown on television. So I was aware of that, where all the villains were in a submarine. But I'd never seen the TV series until the summer of '76 when we moved to Arlington, Texas. And that was on television. That's when I and I even had a tape recorder, audio tape recorder. I would record that. I love the theme song so much. But, yeah, so I was buying these Batman comics without really exposure to. I remember they had little tickets they would give you for movie matinees from school. You'd buy these tickets and you'd go on a Saturday morning or after morning probably, and they would show special movies for you, older movies usually. And I remember they had a schedule, what movies were going to be on what Saturdays, and one of them was going to be Batman, the 1966 Batman, and this is like 1973, or 74 maybe. And when I went, they didn't show Batman. I guess they couldn't get the print, so they showed Benji instead. And I really liked Benji, but that was my chance to have gotten to see Batman on the big screen, which I didn't get to see on the big screen in reality until probably the mid-1980s at the Granada Theater, which was a repertory movie house in Dallas, Texas that ran old movies. I have several copies of this 266. It has Catwoman in it. 267. How about that? Yeah, we're starting to get into these great Ernie Chan covers. Ernie Chua, one of my favorite artists.